Hey, hello, I've got Ed Nell on the line. He's here to do a little bit of a testimonial for me from the 6 week body fix challenge. How you doing, Ed?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. So if you could just give us a quick introduction about yourself, what you do for work, that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Ed Nell. I'm a radio presenter. I've been a radio presenter probably for nearly 20 years now. And a lot of my job is studio based. So quite often for a 4 hour show, you kind of sit down the whole time really while you're presenting. And as a result, it's kind of a very sedentary lifestyle. It's just the way it goes really. So you'll be sitting down for 4 hours, you drive to the studio, you drive home from the studio. So there isn't really that opportunity to kind of get moving too much. That's always been my issue, I guess.
Yeah, great, great. Yeah, and so I was reconnected over on LinkedIn a few months ago, and you decided to jump on the 6 week body fix. So in terms of what was you struggling with your health and fitness before you decided to jump on board that program at that point?
I guess my main issues were my lower back and my right knee. I've had two knee reconstructions on my right knee because I used to play loads of rugby. I used to be a pro rugby player before I got into radio. And the reason it stopped is because of the injuries, really. And my knee, I had to have two reconstructions as a result because I did my cruise shit and everything like that. And I've never really got full movement back. I mean, it's functional, it's quite good, but when you do actual exercise, like anything that's weight bearing, it will flare up afterwards, and then it sort of steps you back a little bit, and so you tend to, well, obviously you steer away from anything that causes you pain generally. Same on my back as well. I think a lot of it is probably just wear and tear, but lower back flares up quite regularly. And again, you just go, well, I can't do anything, and it puts you off, doesn't it? So you end up doing less.
Yeah, sort of managing the pain and trying to avoid things that you like doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I want to. Oh, what was that? I want to stay. I want to stay as active as possible, but it's very difficult when obviously you've got pain and your brain is telling you, "Don't do that. Don't do that. It's going to hurt you." So as a result, you don't. And I think just it's been getting worse over years, probably because I've done less. So you start to turn to mush a little bit more, and any sort of muscle that you might have had, especially in your core area, disappears a little bit, which again is going to have that knock-on effect if it's just a worsening situation. And I've seen loads of specialists over the years as well. Like I've been to osteopaths and chiropractors, and I've been to the NHS, and I've had like full body scans to try and get to the root of the problem. And all those people, they've done their best, and there have been slight improvements, but it's never really got to where I want it to be, so I can actually exercise regularly. That's always been my issue anyway.
Awesome. So next question is, what results did you get during the 6 weeks of us working together?
It was really surprising because I think the first program that you gave me, I looked through it and I thought, oh, they're all quite simple movements. But then you put them all together and instantly, I mean, it wasn't an instant thing to start with. And I came to see you obviously for a one-to-one and like an assessment. And it was more the release thing of just like, suddenly you go, I'm standing up really straight and I don't feel any pain. And it was quite a shock because I'm so used to it. I mean, really, I suppose I've had pain in my knee for 20 years. I probably had pain in my back, how it has been now for the last 15 years. So to suddenly be without that, which has become a constant and something you get used to, was kind of a bit mind-blowing, really. And it was an incredible thing where you just go, oh, whoa, look at this. I feel like completely different. Yeah, so you just kind of keep working from there. And yeah, of course, like anything, you take a couple of steps forward and you take a step back because, of course, you stiffen up a little bit after exercise. And that next morning I noticed, oh, yeah, I'm a bit stiffer again. But then you go through the exercises and again, you're like, oh, yeah, I feel pain-free for the day. I'm set up now. This is great. Yeah. And it's just been that ongoing process obviously the stiffness returns and it's not absolutely perfect. But over the 6 week period, it's a longer, every time I do it, it's a longer kind of pain-free window, which is amazing. So no, it's been great.
I think you used the words voodoo magic at some point.
I did, to be starting with, because I mean, it's so weird because like I say, I've seen all these specialists and to then suddenly go, oh no, that pain's just been turned off almost. And it literally was like a tapper being turned off. It felt like there must be some kind of voodoo magic behind it because you're like, what's he done to me? So is this mind control? What's happened here? But it's great. It's brilliant. If it is, awesome. I'm happy. Keep going with the voodoo because I'm good with it.
That's it. Awesome, Ed. So in terms of helping you in your life, how's that impacted that in terms of what you can do now and what you think you can do, the possibilities?
For me, the weirdest thing I think is in terms of my mindset for stuff, because I'd always be constantly judging pretty much anything, like even just going up and down stairs or lifting something as to whether it's going to hurt me. And I don't necessarily feel I'm doing that now. I kind of go, no, I'm going to be all right. And so that was really, for me, the biggest impact is your brain's always trying to protect you, isn't it? And I think my brain's almost been re-educated going, actually, you're going to be all right now. Whereas before it would try and stop me from doing stuff and go, oh yeah, but you can go and do that, but your knee will be bad tomorrow, or you won't be able to move tomorrow. You won't be able to bend down because your back will be really bad. Whereas I don't find I'm thinking those thoughts now, which feels really positive. And I think as a result, I feel less stressed, because pain has always been kind of one of the main three things that are on my mind all the time. I've always thought about it just because it was such a constant, whereas it doesn't feel like it is. And there's like room for other stuff to be in my head now, which is nice.
Right.
And I feel more relaxed as a result.
Good.
So that's my main thing, I think.
Great. Okay, another question for you. If someone was thinking about jumping on this program, they're sitting on the fence a little bit, what would you say to them?
I'd say you've got to try it. I mean, I think with anything, and when you're trying to find a solution to any pain you've got, I feel like you've just got to jump in and try it. And anything that you can try and do to make your life better in terms of any pain you've got, it's worth a go. But for me, this felt like a very different way of doing it. Like as I say, I'd seen all these specialists before, but for whatever reason, it hadn't quite taken. Whereas straight away, I felt there's a change here, and this has made a big change. And I don't think you appreciate how much of a change that's going to be to you when you realise that you're not feeling pain anymore, because you get used to these things.
Yeah.
So I would say, absolutely, give it a go. It feels really tailored to what I needed as well. And we kept talking the whole time, and you'd be tweaking things and doing more of something, or turning things up or turning things down, which felt really, really good, that you can have that constant feedback and constant kind of dialogue. Whereas sometimes with specialists, you see them and then you don't see them again for 6 weeks, and they'll go, well, did that work or not then? And quite often for me, it would be, no, it didn't really. Whereas, I would have a problem, say, after 2 weeks, and you'd be like, no, it's fine. We'll just sort this out for you. And then you go, great, I'm good to go. And I keep on moving forward. So it was really good, really good.
Yeah. So the accountability part was probably a really important part for you.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah. It definitely just keeps you on track, and just that constant that we can chat through your app, or we can chat face to face on Zoom, or I can pop in for an assessment of a certain ache or something that I might have. And it's great as well that you've always kind of got an idea of, well, look, I know what that is now, and I can sort this, and we'll just put that in your routine, in it, and then you'll be good. And you go, yeah, absolutely, that has worked. So it felt very tailored towards my specific needs and what my pain was. And you've got a solution every time, which is the best you can wish for. So it's great.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to add on to the end of this? Or
I wouldn't say so. No, I just think, I think you've got it nailed. So yeah. It's been good. Really good. Really good.
Brilliant. Well, thanks a lot for doing that testimony for me, Ed. Much appreciated.